Welcome to Trading Lounge and the global indices, and we'll just start with the SPY because it's just got a nice clean count, and that from the last low here in October we're looking at 1 daisy and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth and fifth, and up for the third here. I think I must have had this over here because even if we were looking at this as a corrective wave to the upside here, as an A wave and a B wave here, we'd still have, from B to C, would still need 5 waves of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could shorten that up. In fact, I could look at this just shooting the breeze here as 1 and 2 in here, and I think I've got this count somewhere around with 3 and 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and actually finish on the 500 here, the 4,500. So we will keep a little bit of an eye on that situation, okay? But for today and tomorrow, we can just look at this situation here. And once this starts here, I mean, if you're trading up here, then you're being a swing trader or just short-term trend trader, then the 500 is the 450 rather, the 4,500 on the SPX is where you would be heading to at that point. So we'll keep an eye on that bearish count as well, but we'll need to sort of confirm that with the Nasdaq as well. Over to the SP here, we're looking at 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. We are getting this nice third wave here. It is happening, it is pushing up quite nicely, and we're looking for this blue wave 3 here, and then 4 and 5 up at that point. Now, there's always a beginning and a middle and end to every fractal in each trend, and you could see here, or you could say here, that we've had a reasonable run here, haven't we? So at the 4-4 we're going to start having some corrections at this point, so let's just start working to the intraday. But just to give you that view, from wave 2 to wave 3 here is really where we're sort of at this particular stage. So this is 20k tick here, so we've got 1 and 2 for your bearings, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and we're going up to the third. So that third wave top can be in place because we are seeing that with stocks, but there is a case in this last little move here that we could just get one more little high here, but I wouldn't go chasing that high at this particular point. But we're going to have a closer look at this, but it does give you this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up here. So really 5 is the second strongest number, so that's the target area here at this point. So with that in mind, let's really go into from 20,000 ticks into 1,000 ticks here and start pulling this apart a little bit further. So yeah, I've got green wave 3 top in here, but I was thinking that I could extend it a little bit further up here, and then this would just be from this low here to this high here. That would be the 38.2% retracement level here, and that would stay in place at that point, and then we would have one more move up here. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. So it's a possibility at this point, but I mean, if you're trend trading in the bigger picture, then there's no point in getting out. But it just depends on where you are, how what degree of structure that you're looking at. But let's just assume the worst and hope for the best. So that would be that we would end up with, well, basically, wave 4s tend to pull back to the previous wave 4s. So we could look at that. So yeah, look, the bad news is that we can come down here and then move up at that point. Okay, so that's the bad news. Yeah, I'm looking at this here and I'm thinking like that's 5 waves in this little move here as 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2. Doesn't count very nicely in here as 5, but still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I'm still left with this one. So yeah, there could certainly be another push up here. Anyway, look, if you wanted to stay long, the worst case scenario, but let's go from 100 ticks in 1,000 ticks to 100 ticks. We'll need to bring in some more data here. So That's not what I was looking for. I thought that I had that done up there, but obviously I haven't updated this one here. I thought that I did. That was weird. Anyway, sorry about that. Haven't done all my work. I thought I did that. That's weird. Must have been another time frame. In another time. Okay, so not to worry, you got the picture. This is the Nasdaq here. I don't need to sort of rinse and repeat. The same situation here is that we can have an A and a B and a C here. This is, you know, a bit, as I would have mentioned coming up here, this is a medium level here, and this is group 1 and this is group 2. So that's the swing range. You know, before we even got here, you know, I would have said that this would be the swing range for this particular number, and the pattern that we're looking for would be a classic trading levels pattern, which would be the arrival, which we've got the reaction, and we've got the first high above the level. So we're in here at the moment, but we haven't even really come back down to the, what's the name, 1500, 15,000 yet across here. So this is kind of where we are. We want to be over here, you know, before going long, and over here for this. So in looking at that here, we've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then an ABC pattern here coming back to this waveform of 1 lesser degree, and then moving up at that point. So look, picking the tops and bottoms is a bit of a mug's game, and you know, I could certainly have this wrong, but better to give you the bad news and hope for the good news. I mean, I can see the stochastics wants to push up here, you know, and this does appear to be like a little corrective pattern here, and I could push this to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 over here for this, and have one more little push up here for that. But yeah, the takeaway is that you know, there are, if you have a look at the stocks video today for the tech stocks, you can see which ones are correcting. There's some that are not correcting, that can push up a bit further, like the Teslas. But there's certainly others that are in, you know, that are creating this, and we've looked at them, and some of them can come deeper and so forth. So this is really just a moving average of those tech stocks. Okay, so for the Russell here, we were looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the top here, and it does look like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Not a very nice fifth wave here, then an A and a B and a C here. Don't really have 5 waves down here just yet. I've got 5 waves in here. It's a little bit rough and ready. Yeah, it is a little bit rough, isn't it? But still, you can sort of see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then the correction, then 1, 2, and this is all of the third and the fourth here. I don't know if I want to include that in being 5 waves down at this particular point, but I just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not ready to go long here just yet for this. We've been looking at the bigger picture with the IWM, the ETF on this. So we wanted to, I'm pretty sure we're going up here. I just don't want to go up without the others just yet. So I'm just going to wait on that. But yeah, it's doing everything that we wanted to do at the 1900, which is also the 61.8% retracement level as well. So I knew that we're going to be here for a little while. So that's all occurring. The Dow Jones, we're just keeping a general idea on this because we've got 1 here and 2 here. And then we've got 1 and 2 here. And then we've just been tracking these 5 waves up here for the last wee while of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got this 5 here. It looks pretty good as 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could we have one more up here? Yeah, but it's not what we're really looking for. What we're looking for is a correction, and then wave 1, and then wave 2 over here, and that will be our long trade over here for that. We may get probably will get a position or two in this early stages here, just in case this moves off quite quickly, because when you think about it, we've got the third of the third of the third here of the third, and then we can also get another third here. Will that play out? Do 1s and 2s play out? Yeah, they do sometimes, but a lot of the time they don't, so we'll just keep a bit of an eye on that. But I kind of like the whole count here really as 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and just keep building to the upside. So it's looking very positive actually, this one. So we're just going to keep a bit of an eye on that. Then we come over to the European markets. Now, there are different ways to count all of this up here, right? This is from the low here, and we're taking out the top here now. So the thing is that I've just got this counted the same as on the same dates as the SP500 and the Nasdaq. And I think that's sort of okay for that, you know. It's a slightly different count up here. But a lot of the markets tend to move generally together. They sort of herd together, but they're individual, so they can have their own individual counts and so on. But what I can say is that the move up here is not completed yet. And you can clearly see that we've got 1 here and 2 here and the 3rd wave here. There's no 4th or 5th wave here yet. So we'll still be going to the upside, and the 16,500 is the next target area for that, with the 16,000 and the 16,300 as the support for that. So we can go in and check on this. So let's just get a little bit more data in here. So I've just been looking at this as 3 and 4 here, and then I did have this as blue wave 1, but I'm just sort of changing things around a little bit. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the same here as well. I could put, like the other markets, put that on here, but I just think there could be one more little push up here for this. But the worst case scenario is we're coming back to this wave 4 here. But this is also a classic trading levels pattern at 16,300, which is the top of group 1 of 16,000. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. In ABC, so we can, you know, at some point this 3rd wave here is going to correct anyway, so just be a little bit mindful of that situation. And the FTSE here, so the FTSE is a bit like the Australian market, it's got the same pattern down here, up here, down here. You know, it's got the same, you know, it's got the same build in the fractal structures here, except this one is looking really quite weak. This move down, I've got this as our bullish count, okay, we're on 20k here, so that's looking as 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2, and then building to the upside. Now, do I have any faith in that? Well, not really, but one would think that if the other markets are bullish, then this would be bullish too, wouldn't it? You know, generally speaking. And that's true, but certain things need to hold in place. Obviously, that needed to hold in place. This is a 61.8% retracement level. That needs to hold into place. And really, this next one here, that needs to hold into place as well. So we do need to see this push up here. You know, it needs to get support in group 2 here. So this particular level here is the 7.5. The next level after 5 is 8, which is up here. And with 8 we call group 2. So 7, 6, 5, 0. We need that as support. And I would have talked about this a lot as we go. This little move up here is pretty complicated in its own little way, and not easy to count. I could look at it as a wave 1 and pull back for a wave 2. I suppose I could put wave 2 over here and look at this as some sort of ABC here, but yeah, whichever way I look at it, it's, yeah, we need to see it move up. It needs to start showing a strength. This move down here can be counted as 5 waves down, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down here. So on the bearish count for this, which we've had a look at a lot, and it would be like this here. It's not so bearish, but it would be an A wave, a B wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then an ABC pattern here. So that's what we've been looking for here. So it's still sort of, you know, still hasn't sort of, you know, we could put wave 2 here. We could do that. Is it completed? I don't know. It's a little bit sort of tricky. We'll go and have a bit of a look at that. But otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off here. We know the FTSE can do its own thing. So we need to be a little bit mindful of everything. Yeah, I just didn't really see any strength in all of this. I'm not sure what intraday count we were looking at here, but this is it from off the low here as an ABC. So last time we spoke, we knew that this was corrective here, okay? But, so we knew this was corrective. So we knew that we'd take out the top of the A wave here. So we've taken out the top of the A wave. How to count this up here is a bit of a mystery. I mean, of course, we can count it correctively because it's got a lot of overlapping wave structures in here. But from the low here to the high here, the 7.6 is the 61.8%. So we'll just see how it plays out, because we could look at that as 1 and 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5. And if we do get 5 waves here, then we'll get 3 waves back up, and then we can look to short based on those 5 waves in the opposite direction of the trend, at these points here. But I don't have 5 waves here just yet, but let's just see if we do. Like I said, this here is a little bit sort of tricky to count in here. You could label it in a variety of ways. All I knew is that this was corrective and that would be taking out the top. We've done that, but I don't have any faith in this being, it could be impulsive and bullish, but there's a good case for it being corrective as well. So I'm just going to chill on this one here. We can go to 100 ticks and just check on this a little bit further in here, but because we've been looking at it in both ways, and we've been counting it and so on. I mean, we counted it in a bullish way of little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1, little ABC for 2 here. Sorry, no, ABC for the A wave, the B wave, the C wave for 2, then 3. It looks like a wave 4, but obviously it's overlapping there. So, but it's okay to overlap, I reckon, around really large numbers, because large orders come at large numbers and just pulls the market. So we could look at that as 1, 2, 3, 4 here, but we're overlapping here now as well. So there's a lot going on here with this. I'm just not quite sure about the best way forward yet. Like I said, I don't want to short it because I don't have I need to be surfing the direction of the trend, and I need the evidence of an impulse wave. We just don't have that at the moment, so we're just going to leave that. Now, Australia's got the same pattern in terms of the FTSE, in terms of, well, making a high here. Hasn't really made a high. That's been the high over here for that, but coming down here, the FTSE is the same. Coming up here, the FTSE is the same. Coming down here, the FTSE is the same, except for this market here pushed up quite nicely because we are seeing the banks rally. We talked about this is CBA here, so we were looking at this as an A and an A wave, an ABC for the B wave, and going up for the C wave here. So that's got further to go. That can move up to here somewhere, and then it could fade at that point. Can this be bullish here? Yeah, sure. This could be wave 1 here with an ABC for wave 2. So we need 5 waves here, and then anything above that, then we could look at being bullish. So we need those 5 waves to complete. I won't pull them apart at the moment. We also looked at WBC. The WBC has got this possible ABC pattern here, and it is pushing up. We're on a daily chart here, so we had a nice push up here. So we're getting there with it. We'll just keep a bit of an eye on it. It looks like we've got an impulse wave here, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's promising. But I'd want to see a bit more. So if this was 5 waves here, then I'd want to see a reversal back here. I want to see a larger 5 waves to be able to trade, to get a reasonable trend. So if we got 5 waves here, then we'd get another 5 waves over here. And besides, that's the one that we'd want to catch if that was going to be wave 1 and 2 here. So yeah, I mean, this is going to come up and hit supply here and be pulled back at this point. So there's no trade here. We just looked at this being, a possible A wave, a B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here to finish that off. So it could possibly be a low, and we're just been, checking on it. We'll stay with it. And so the banks could be rather positive with all of this, at least for the short term. But yeah, with the US banks, we're expecting a rally and then a new low to come in. So that's what I was thinking about this. And this rally here, this is why I was thinking about the ASX here, having this as an A and a B and 5 waves up here for a C wave and then making a new low. I know we're not in a big bearish picture, so we're obviously in some sort of A, B, C, D, and E over here. So it is really quite complicated. I can put it in a more bullish tone, but like I said, if we're going to go bullish, this 5 waves up here, anything above that, and then we can be bullish at that point. But we just need to be careful of this sucker drop here for that but the bullish count would be on the 20k tick looking like this. And if I just get some more data in here for this, I mean, you know, other folks would have different counts. So we have this as a top here, an ABC for the A, B, C, D, and E here. So basically putting a low in place here, and then looking at this, not quite like the S&P and all the rest of it, but certainly 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 in that case, you know, so looking at a more bullish market. So yeah, it seems to be sort of heading in that general direction. It moved up quite nicely on the Friday. And yeah, this move down here can be counted as 5 waves, or we can count it as 3 waves. But for the time being, you know, we should just really just focus, not so much on the bigger picture, but just really this picture here. Now, from the top to the bottom here, this is not quite, but the 61.8% here. So this is where it's going to have problems here. Well, it's just below, actually. That's the 61.8%. So, but anyway, at this number here, so that's if it was going to fail, then that's where it would fail from. But what we want to look for here next is the classic trading levels pattern. So we've got the arrival, we want to see a reaction, first high above the level, then all of this, and then we can look to go build long over here. So going long here at the moment, like right here, is not really the right thing to do. Sure, it could pop up here and then drop back and do all sorts of things, and you get sort of stuck in it, you know. But that is the arrival. We're looking at the reaction at the moment. Later on, we'll look at the first high above the level and then the ABC pattern, and then we can go up again. We talked about being long above the 72. So I probably would have, you know, it was just natural of me to say to get to 73 and get out, but let me think about this for a moment. 1000 is the sort of bearish count for this, so I'd like to look at the bearish count, which would be wave 1 here with an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. That can fit. But I do have an extra little wave in here and so on, so it could be viewed differently, but yeah, so really, you know, and I'm not going to short it here. That doesn't make any sense either, because, you know, if we're going to short this, we want a drop in 5 waves. We want to see that a decent 5 waves, and then we can look at the, you know, shorting it at the on the rally at that point. That will get us down to the next level, and then we've got to see, you know, that just an ABC at that point. So we'll need to protect ourselves. So we're not in an easy part of the trend. On the more bullish side of this, onto the 100 tick, so drilling in there a little bit further, this is where we were on the Friday. So we had this wave 2 here, then 1 and 2 here, and then moving up here. So as I probably mentioned, I'll need to extend this up here further. I can look at it as 1, 2 here, and 3, 4, and 5 up here as 5 waves. But really, I just want to see a classic trading level pattern at this point here. I can count this in different ways here. I can, even though I've got it as 1 and 2 here, and I know that that wave 2 is very close to this low here, but on the XJO, on the cash market, you'll see that this is best counted as 1 and 2. But we could count this as 1 and 2 here as well, you know. And this does look like a third wave, doesn't it? I mean, it's very strong, so it looks more like a third wave. So it's be quite easy to build this up here. We can just put wave 1 up here and do all those sort of things. But at the end of the day, what we're just looking for here at the moment is, so you may have been long above the 72. That was, or sorry, up here rather. We don't need this now, so I'm just going to clean this off. And yeah, so this looks like it needs to be, it looks like we've got some sort of A wave, B wave in here. I'm not sure about all of that in there just yet, but even if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, it's probably have another one down here. We're looking for something like this here. Okay, so it's going to take a wee while before we have that set up in there, and we could come down lower as well here. So let me just think about this for a moment. Even if I used this one here, just looking for the 40% retracement level, where we're just about there now with that, and even if I did bring it down one more thing over to here, yeah, I don't think we need to, I don't think that there's much to do here. I mean, as intraday traders, that's fine, but we need to set up across this level here using group 1 above and group 2 below, or even the 50 here where this consolidation is in here. That's the important one. So I just think we should just leave this. But there will be some sort of rally today. How far it goes, the other point with this is what the US is doing is coming down here, going back up here, and then coming down here, and then moving off. So you may not get that high up here for that. You know, that's the other thing here. Just putting an ABC pattern in here. So yeah, some sort of ABC. There'd be some sort of consolidation here. So don't get sort of trapped. Keep a bit of an eye. If you have a look at the US stocks video, you'll see that those stocks are doing, you know, an ABC pattern. And yeah, so we need to be just a bit careful. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.